need to start optimizing your life for success. And when I say optimizing your life for success, I really mean removing anything that doesn't make you successful. My definition of success and your definition of success could be two different things, but only you know what that is. So whatever you're trying to do, wherever you're trying to go, if there's anything in your way that's stopping you or slowing you from getting to where you want to go, you just need to remove it from your life. Now, you already know what needs to be done in order to get to the next level. There's going to be sacrifices you have to make. There's going to be people you have to meet. There's going to be people you have to let go. But if you really want to be where you say, if you really want to do what you say, you have to be willing to make those sacrifices. You got to continue to push. You got to understand where your mindset is on the verge of giving up and giving in. Because it's a pattern. You have to recognize the patterns within yourself. Understand, okay, whenever I go to the gym 6 days a week, my body is telling me like, shit is getting hard and it's time to quit. No, when there's really, you need to go the 7th day. Even if you're not pumping iron, you need to stretch. You need to go in for a jog or something light, bro, because your confidence is built when you do hard shit. So when you're doing hard things every day, your confidence is being built. When you keep promises to yourself every day, that's when your confidence is being built. So don't be afraid of failing. If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. This video, for instance, I didn't feel like making this video. I wasn't thinking about making this video until I thought about myself not recording for the past 2 days. That's unacceptable. I have to hold a higher standard for myself. You have to hold a higher standard for yourself because nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to encourage you like you encourage you. You have to have positive self-talk. And not positive as in happy, but you have to be the one to hold yourself accountable. You have to get on your own ass at times when you know there's more to be done, but you're not giving it. But be patient with yourself. This is not overnight. Be patient. Not complacent, but patient. Work diligently every day as if you already have the thing that you want. It's yours. It's already yours until you act like it's not. So if you act like it's not, hey, guess what? It's not. But if you acting like it's already yours, it's just not with you at this moment, one day you will have it. But one day you will be that person, whoever you're trying to be. Make sure you have people in your corner that's willing to tell you right from wrong, that's willing to keep it real with you. Because you got people that will pretend like they're with you. And those are the people that we don't need. That goes back to what I said about removing people from your life. And there's no bad feelings attached to it. It's just, it is what it is. People come and go. But you want to build relationships and connections with the right people. It's all going to be worth it in the end. Stay focused. Stay down. Don't rush the process. Embrace it. Embrace how long it's going to take to get there. Embrace the pain that you're going to face. Embrace the uncertainty that you have to face in order to do the things that you want to do. That's where the excitement comes from. You can't always try to chase the pleasure, because if you chasing the pleasure, you missing out on the purpose of whatever it is that you're doing. It's not going to always be pleasureful. It's not going to always be the most fun activity to do. But that's where the discipline comes in. It doesn't need to always be fun. It doesn't need to always be exciting. You gotta stay disciplined because they're gonna ask you how you did it. You gotta have the answers for how you did it, bro. Every day, day in, day out, you gotta work. And I'm not saying work physically, but you always have to be moving that needle forward to literally get where you wanna go. But I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you that you even taking time to watch this. Because you're watching this for a reason. You're not watching this by accident or by coincidence. Everything happens for a reason, and just because you take a loss doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. Disruption always follows intention. So if you have something that's in your way as you're trying to become the person that you need to be, as you're trying to accomplish your goals, that means you're on the right path, and something is sent to try to knock you off your path, knock you down and trying to distract you, but you can't fall for it. That's just gonna make you stronger. It's gonna make you more resilient. You have to understand everything goes to shit before everything gets good. It's gonna test you. It's gonna test your limits. So your stress management has to be very well. You have to be calm under pressure. You can't fold under pressure. You can't bend, crack, fold, none of that, because it's gonna test you. Whenever you are that person, because you are that person the moment you put your foot in front of the other and take those steps. You're already that person, just not at the level that you have in your imagination just yet. The things that you're going through now are going to be twice as hard once you actually become that person at their full potential. So just get ready now. You know, shit's not going to be smooth whenever you have $1 million in your bank account, $1 million in assets, taking care of your family. Shit's not going to be smooth then. This is just a sample of what it's really going to take and what it's really going to be like once you get there. So don't feel discouraged. Don't feel like you the only person that's ever went through something, bro. In my previous video, I said you always have to remember this is what hard feels like, but you also have to remember this is where most people give up. This is where most people throw in the towel and call it quits. So you got to differentiate yourself. A lot of people talk about their goals, and you look up a year or two, maybe even a couple of months, and they still haven't even did half of what they talked about. You don't want to be that person. You don't have to tell anybody what you have going on. And I really advise you, don't tell anybody what you have going on. That way you can take your losses in private. You know what I'm saying? Even if you want to celebrate in private, they don't know what you celebrate. Or even if you take your loss, you know, nobody's trying to clown you for making a mistake. When really mistakes are what make us. They're if you learn from them, you know what I'm saying? Mistakes propel you forward if you learn from it. So don't try to avoid failure. Avoiding failure is avoiding success altogether. You have to be willing to go through that, bro. But you got it. You got it. I'm telling you, you got it. It's within all of us. You know, God put us all on this earth for a reason. You know, we all got a piece of Him inside of each and every one of us. So in every aspect, you may have something within you that I don't have within me. So by default, I can't be like you, and you can't be like me, but that's not how it's supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be meant for us to be the same and do the same thing. You know, we may have similarities, but we're all different people at the end of the day. So don't compare yourself to nobody else, because you don't know the steps that they took to get where they're at. You don't know how many nights they stayed up sleepless, crying, frustrated. You don't know what they went through. So don't even worry about them. You running your own race, and you got your whole life ahead of you to do the things correctly. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you're gonna be perfect, but just take your time and understand, like, you get one life, so you have to do it the right way, however that looks for you. And yeah, sometimes this journey gonna be lonely. You're gonna be hated. You're gonna be criticized, but that's just what comes with it. Like I said, you have to embrace it, because if you're not strong enough, if you mentally unstable, or if you're mentally weak, you're gonna crumble and you're gonna give up just because what somebody else said. And whenever somebody talks down on you, they coming from the bottom. They're coming from underneath you to pull you down as well. You can't go for it. You gotta shake it off. You gotta understand, like, okay, are they being hypercritical? Are they being hypocrites? Or are they trying to constructively criticize? You have to understand that difference too, because somebody could actually be telling you something that you need to hear, but you're just so sensitive and soft-skinned that it just feels like they're talking about you, and the whole time they're really trying to help you. It's just the delivery, but you can't worry about the delivery. You have to worry about their intentions, because it may not always come out how you want it to, but if they're really trying to help you, you'll feel it, you'll know, and you'll be able to take that, whatever they said, and just apply it. Don't get caught up in reading so many books. Don't get caught up in watching so many videos. Even this one, it's a good video that you're watching, but now it's time to take the action. I'm pretty sure you know exactly what you need to do. You know enough to go ahead and get started. And even if you don't know enough, bro, just start moving in that direction. And I promise you, you have no choice but to learn and apply. Learn and apply. But you don't want to constantly learn and not apply, because you'll get stuck in analysis paralysis. And that's where you have too much information, too much knowledge, and not enough action. And now you start talking yourself out of great ideas. You start talking yourself out of ideas that can ultimately change your life. Just because you have so much information, you're not acting on it, you don't know how it's going to play out. So you start making these imaginary scenarios, these worst case scenarios, when none of that has even happened, and none of it probably will ever happen. Or just take it a day at a time. You know what I'm saying? If you need to go ghost, if you need to log out of social media just to clear your mind, because clarity is probably the best thing that you can have in today's society. You know, you have so many things going on coming left and right. You have Instagram, you got the news, you got Twitter, you got you know what I'm saying, people passing away, but you got to keep a clear mind. You got to keep a clear vision for what you want out of life. So focus, bro, focus. Stay committed. So once you make a commitment, you still want to stick to it even after it becomes inconvenient, because it's going to test you. You got to hold your word, keep your word to yourself. And as you build confidence, as you build this reputation with yourself, you'll be able to take bigger steps. You'll start to take risks, because you know you're going to hold up on your end. If nobody else shows up, you know you're going to show up each and every day. And that's really what it takes, because you'll never know until you try, literally. And you can't assign a difficulty to a task, or assign a difficulty to anything unless you try. You can't say something is hard and you never tried. It may be a lot easier than you thought, and it may be a lot harder than you thought, but you have to give it a try. Because what's the point? What's the point of wasting all this energy thinking about what could go wrong when you can use that same energy to think about what could go right? And on top of that, not only thinking about what could go right, applying that energy to actually doing the thing that's gonna make you see that for yourself. So just keep pushing, bro. Keep applying yourself. Don't be afraid to fail. I feel like that was my biggest downfall. These past 2-3 years was I was afraid to fail. I was being such a perfectionist that I felt like if it wasn't the perfect move for me, I wasn't gonna take it. I was waiting for the right time, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for the right person to tell me like, hey, this is guaranteed, but nothing is guaranteed. That's why you have to work each and every day, because your work ethic is something that's instilled in you. Your discipline is something that's instilled in you. And your trust, that's guaranteed once you build that muscle within yourself. But as far as the outcomes and results, those are never guaranteed. That's where all the fun is, bro. I'm telling you, that's where all the excitement is, because you don't know what's gonna happen next. That's where you get to see what you're really made out of. Because if it was guaranteed, it's like, where's your faith? You don't need faith to know that something is guaranteed. You really gotta step out your comfort zone and just make shit work. Whether it works or not, you gotta have that faith within yourself. Everything is gonna work itself out. Even if you set this goal and you don't hit that goal, there's things that you learned along the way that help you and shape you, because the things that are certain, the work that you put in that gets a certain outcome, it won't be large. You know what I'm saying? The larger the risk, the larger the reward. But if it's a big risk, you can also take a big fall too. But that's where moving strategically comes into play. That's where moving smart and making the right decisions comes into play. Because it's not going to be perfect, bro. But it's going to be worth it. Even if you lose, you'll lose big, but that means you'll learn big as well. None of us are perfect, bro. Understand, shit doesn't have to be perfect in order for you to win. Another day, another opportunity. You may not have all the money, all the knowledge, the support system, but as long as you got the opportunity to expand upon one of the three, which is every day you wake up, God is giving you another chance to breathe and giving you another chance to see. You know what I'm saying? If you got 2 feet, 2 legs, 2 arms, you know what I'm saying, eyes to see, you got all your senses, bro, you good to go. Now you just got to make things work for you. You got to use everything to your advantage. You have to be resourceful. You may not have all the resources, just like I mentioned, but you have to create the resources. You have to create these things for yourself, because they're not going to fall out the sky. You'll become a better individual. Somebody can take you out your environment today and put you in a whole new environment, and you can build things back up from square one. You can build things up from the ground up just off knowledge and being resourceful. You can go to a library and read books. If you can go to a library and just have peace and quiet, use that to your advantage. If you have people in your city that are, getting money, or millionaires, or doing whatever you want to do as far as entrepreneurship or being an artist or playing sports, whatever it is, get around those people. Use those people to your advantage. I'm not saying literally use those people, but you have to understand that they're close to you. They're in proximity to you. So if they're that close to you, that means you can do it too. Whether if they're close to you physically or if they're close to you mentally, we're all human. We can all have the same thing, but we just have to use our time differently. We have to use what we're given differently. You got to use your gift, whatever God has given you. You got to maximize that to the fullest, because nobody else has it like you do. Can't nobody else replace you. You're one of one. Be more assertive. Take more risks. Fail more. Fail forward. Fail trying to become the person that you want to be. Fail trying to do something new versus succeed at the level that you're at. Set these new standards for yourself. Set new standards for your work ethic. The people that you allow around you. The things that you put in your mind. The things that you put in front of your eyes and your ears. Set new standards for yourself, bro, because you'll only grow as big as your tank is. You may be a little shark right now because you're in a little tank, but you got to grow. You got to expand. So the bigger your tank becomes, the bigger you'll grow. So put people around you that are smarter than you. You can't have an ego problem with trying to be the most smartest person in the room, because you'll never grow that way. You always have to elevate your mindset, sharpen up. Sharpen up, bro. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Just prove it to yourself. Day in, day out. Every time you wake up, every time you get a new opportunity to wake up and breathe, you need to wake up and live your life to the fullest. Give your all every time, every day, whatever you're doing. You need to sharpen up in all areas. How you do anything is how you do everything. So start trying to apply that. Give your best no matter what you're doing, no matter how small you think it is or how big you think it is. These principles go across the board. You may learn something new about yourself from giving it your all. You can't learn something new about yourself going half speed. If you ever played sports, like even practice wasn't half speed. We do everything full speed and don't do it at all. This life shit is a blessing because somebody didn't wake up today. But go for what you want, bro. Don't settle for anything. If it's not what you want, be grateful for what you have. I'm not saying don't be grateful for what you have, but if it's not what you want, keep striving. Keep looking to figure out ways to get what you want. And this may be spiritually, this may be monetary, this may be materialistic. However it may start off, it will always force you to uplift yourself in other areas. So it may seem superficial right now, but you trying to acquire a certain car or you trying to acquire a certain lifestyle is going to require you to become more on a spiritual plane, to become more on in your mindset. It starts off, superficial, but then you get into this rabbit hole of wanting to do more as far as the person that you're becoming. So today we're going to put ourselves in position to win. We're going to strive. We're going to grind, and we're going to work smarter, not harder. We're going to work hard too, but we're going to work smarter than we do hard. Smart work will get you a lot further than hard work. That's what I'm noticing. Like the most successful people, they don't work the hardest, they work the smartest. They're productive. I'm not saying that they don't work hard, but there's people that work harder that are a lot less successful than they are. So don't get what I just said twisted. They still work hard, but they're not the hardest working people. They're the smartest working people. They're efficient. You have to be efficient. That's enough said, y'all. Let's have a great day. Don't settle for less. Whatever vision you got in your mind, you can achieve it. If you can see it in your mind, you can have it in your hands, and you can be that person to make it all happen. You can be that person to achieve whatever it is that you're looking for. So, your boy Cameron Mitchell tuning out. I'll see y'all later.